Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to my brothers and sisters in Islam, and salam to everyone else. This is Ali. My video is going to be basically a manifesto. It's going to be about a recent event. More drama, as you all know. Apparently I had made a threat. Not a warning, but a threat. Apparently it is a death threat. Apparently, warning people to not be hostile to innocent individuals, people who are non-combatants, people who do not deserve to die, apparently warning them that if they attack or are hostile to these people, and warning them that they will be met with their own destruction. Apparently this is a death threat. It is not something that is justified. It is not something that all of humanity would stand for. Apparently there are no such things as Muslim allies. Apparently Muslims and non-Muslims cannot stand up for this sort of action against such unjustified behavior. Thunderfoot can make pretty much a general threat that the entirety of the Muslim world will be destroyed at the hands of the West, which he endorses. That he lives in the age of reason, whereas the religious live in a primitive age, and they do not belong in the age of reason. He polarizes the world, just like the fanatics do. And yet, for some reason, Muslims are not supposed to believe that this is a sort of a warning of genocide or justification for genocide. I don't think so. I think that it can be implied. It has been implied. There was no distinction made. Those who are reading that distinction in there are doing so desperately, without any evidence whatsoever. It is clear. Many skeptics, many theists have seen this. They have already created videos in regards to this. They have commented. The majority who have supported Thunderfoot have simply done so based on previous loyalties and their simple thinking in cliches. It is much easier to paint the world in black and white than to see it in colors. It is much easier to have simple answers of yes or no. It is much easier to think in terms of bad and good, of people, and that is it. It is very easy to basically cut the world in half between two different sides. It is not easy to see the world in a balanced way. It is not easy to be inclusive of people, which is what I was trying to do in my death threat, in that I was being inclusive of all humanity, Muslims and non-Muslims, against the oppression of innocent individuals, because I had interpreted much of his video to simply think that Muslims were all the same. The Muslims is a universal statement. It is not one of distinction. Saying that moderates speak volumes in their silence, in their attitude towards fanaticism, is implicitly saying that they endorse this behavior and thus are fanatics themselves. This is not stretching anything. This is what it says. To warn that if an individual tries to hurt another innocent person, tries to kill another innocent person, and that they will be met with destruction, this is not a threat. This is a form of justice. This is something that all human beings, all civilized individuals believe in. For all of you out there who are saying that I have made a generic death threat because I am a Muslim, it is completely and utterly absurd. Look at yourselves. How could you seriously sit there and say this? Oh, because I was overly dramatic in my statement? I am so sorry. I am so sorry I hurt your feelings. I am so sorry that I stand for justice, that I stand for the protection of innocent individuals. I am sorry that my version of peace is not complete pacifism, because peace is also about protecting those who would be oppressed. Islam is a religion of peace. Not the Islam that is hijacked by extremists. Islam is a religion of peace, in that it is also a religion of balance. It is peace for every human being, not only just the practitioner, but the people out there who are being oppressed, who are being threatened to be killed. People who go out and oppress others deserve to be warned, to be told. If Thunderfoot had simply warned the fanatics, if he said the Muslim fanatics, the Muslim radicals are doing this again, fine, I would have been endorsing it 100%. But I do not, because he includes me in that list, when I have done nothing to deserve it. When all the moderates have done nothing to deserve it. We do not deserve to die for that. And yet he casually includes us in there, because we are not part of the age of reason. Please. Death threat? Me make a death threat? I stand for a principle that every single person in this world should stand for, and you think I'm making a death threat? Because I have a beard? Because I follow a book called the Quran, I'm making a death threat? You know, the similarity between many anti-theists and the fanatics is that they think the same way. The fanatics perform violence, but it's only a matter of time till many anti-theists do the same. They think the same way in that they polarize the world. Like I said, they look at everything as black and white. There is no room for moderation for their opponents. You see, if I were to claim, as I have before, that there are fanatics on the anti-theist side of things, or the Islamic phobic side of things, this would be clearly denied, because it is evident to them that the only fanatics that can exist are in religions. So if there are fanatics or people who do bad things, they are automatically religious. And the people who endorse this view, this sort of view that moderates cover for fanatics, it's only to be applied to religious people. That's it. How can nobody see the danger in this view? How can nobody see the danger in this view? It is basically saying that there is no possible criticism to be brought against this side, the age of reason. There's no possible criticism to be brought against it. Only moderates exist in this place. You know, I stand for freedom of speech too. Okay? I don't demand laws that be made to destroy it. No. Okay, I just stand for integrity also. And I get sick and tired of people going under this banner of freedom of speech just to spread their hatred, to have some sort of legitimate reason. It's like these sort of dogmatic Enlightenment thinkers, if you even want to call them that, they think they are standing up for things that are good, but they really aren't. They're only standing up for the ideas. They're not standing up for the people themselves. They don't really care about humanity. They see people as mere physical shells and concepts. A cold reality. If something harms you, ruins your reputation, destroys your financial status, ruins your family, too bad. All for the sake of freedom of speech. The reason I say that freedom of speech is supposed to be constructive is not because I don't want people to draw cartoons. It's not because I don't want people to offend me. It is not because I do not want to be offended. It's because I don't think people's lives should be ruined. And people's lives can be ruined. The simple fact that people out there deny the fact that many Western countries do not allow for certain forms of speech, they deny this. It clearly shows their ignorance and their dogmatic appeal to these principles, only to support their bigoted views. Once again, I made no death threat. But let me tell you something. If there are really, if the anti-theist side is really just made up of moderates, I really hope, I really hope that they don't become fanatical, because the views that I'm about to show you are really, at least to me, not very moderate.